my father and I'm gonna interview him. 1. Where are you from?
I'm a Brazilian Italian national. I was born in Brazil, in the state of Pernambuco. But I was raised across the country, lived in multiple places. But my family, I would say, is essentially from São Paulo. I studied here, and I consider myself a Paulista because of the background, my life background.
2. What is the weather like?
The weather in the state of São Paulo, and then that's why I made such a statement because I'm more familiarized with São Paulo. Is it's a subtropical state, so I would say a significant part of the year the weather is sunny, beautiful, shiny with lights, so you can have an enjoyable life outside. But surprisingly for many foreigners, it does get cold. Not that cold, but it does get cold, and it's quite often it's grayish, I would say, with rainy seasons and clouds. So it's a very interesting weather. I'll put it this way. Yeah, when I was younger, São Paulo was known as in Portuguese Terra da Garoa, which basically is an area, a city that was perceived as with a high precipitation ratio. So it would rain a lot in São Paulo. Not surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, due to the climate issues, these features are changing actually. So it's getting more sunnier and less rainy.
3. What does the countryside looks like?
Well, the countryside is a very alike, I would say, what we see in São Paulo, because São Paulo, the city itself, is not in the coastal region. So it's you have tropical environment with the forests. Whenever you have the forest, with a sunny weather, it does rain as well. And it gets cold, I would say in the months between end of May to August. Cold, I would say it's not US cold, it's more of a UK cold. 6 degrees Celsius, not less than this. So just looking at the landscape, what you can see is, because we're actually in the countryside, I think this is no different than we're having a beautiful day today, so you can see the lights. It's very lighty. You have let's say a beautiful combination of local environment with the trees. There's a lake, so it's quite pleasant, I would say.
5. What fruits grow in your country?
Brazil is a tropical country with a amazing agricultural potential, and with that regard, you see, I would say, almost every single fruit, from the basic ones, bananas, etc., to exotic stuff that I would be unable to pronounce today. So yes, and one thing that is good as well is that you have a two-season plantation, or in the case of fruits, is a collection. Ratio, not what would I say ratio, but you have throughout the year you have two seasons by which you have production. So what I would say is access to fruits, especially tropical fruits, is abundant, very easy, and it's a pleasant experience actually to go over on the weekend and to buy fruits, be it mango, bananas, whatever it is. So it's easily available, and it's always
Apples,
fresh.
pears.
Apples.
What else, Paola, did you eat here?
Tomato,
It's a vegetable or fruit?
vegetable,
Yes. And what else? Watermelon. Strawberries.
Yes, strawberry.
Great. What's the next question? Number 5.
What vegetables grow in your country?
What vegetables?
Yes.
Yeah, so I start with the same statement, which is, again, it's a
Potatoes, carrots.
it's highly favorable for the agricultural business as a whole. So what we see, we have potatoes, carrots, lettuce, tomatoes, you name it. It's Brazil is very
Corn.
rich. Corn is very rich on that regard, and it's not only rich but easily available, cheap, and always fresh, which is something that I find very pleasant. And when I lived, and again, making a parallel to the UK, when we lived more than a decade ago, we could see that a big difference from that perspective.
Number 6.
What animals are common in your country?
So the fauna in Brazil is very rich, as you would expect. But making a parallel to countries like South Africa, where I had the pleasure to visit, I would say that the animal landscape is the animals are not as big, as big as the ones that we would see in Africa, but we do see varieties of birds, of small animals. It's very rich, and one example is just looking around here in the area that we are. You will not at the moment, but no, actually at the moment, but you can hear the birds singing. The same I would say with other animals.
And later we are gonna see the ducks.
The ducks. We saw a couple of days ago some big turtles in the area we are. The ants, monkeys. It's amazing experience. Again, regarding the nature, it's fantastic.
Seven. The last one. What are popular names for boys and girls in your country?
Well, Brazil somehow is a melting pot. They have a big legacy of, depending obviously the area that you are, of people that have an Italian background, a Portuguese background, Lebanese background, Asians, I would say more, Japanese. He has also German colonies. So it's somehow has and a big also contribution from Africa. We do see names, a lot of creativity in the names.
Biblical names.
As a starting point. But if I had to summarize, the typical Brazilian name, you would have a name that would be, I would say, Brazilianized for the first name, and the surname you would have, and the middle name would be from the wife. The last surname would be from the father. So but if I had to mention a couple of names of boys and girls, for boys, I would say João, Paulo, Rodrigo, Pedro, Antonio, always religious. You see, there's a very strong
José,
Catholic component. So you see José. Well, I think those are good examples. And regarding women, Maria. We're seeing actually, I would say starting Maria, Julia, Nata or Julia with the J. Paula, Ana,
Luisa,
yeah, amongst other names. What I would, as my final remark, is that what we're seeing have been seen in recent years, and what I've noticed is that you have vintages of names that change, from time to time, and the most recent vintage are short names that that have powerful messages. Our daughter Julia somehow fits into this vintage, but we have again as this, we're seeing more and more of these short names. But a couple of years ago, we would see a lot of friends naming people with Valentina or it goes beyond. But the point I want to make is this is what we're seeing at the moment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Daddy. It was really nice to interview you.
A kiss, please. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye.